Hello and welcome to another modern stream. Today we're going to be taking another look at Hidetsugu Control. Yes, that is Grixis Sugu, like I like to call it. With Hidetsugu Consumes All, this card was really good when I tried it last week in this specific shell, but turns out that Lurrus was banned. However, even though this card was particularly good against Lurrus decks, it's not like all of a sudden Ursa Saga is gonna be bad. It's not like all of a sudden Ragavan is gonna be bad. It's not like all of a sudden people will forget about Death Right Shaman. Death Right Shaman. Yeah, please forget about that one. DRC Dragon's Race Channeler. Because of that, I think that the deck is still. It still makes sense. Like it's still doing the stuff that I would want the control deck to do. So because of that, we're gonna be kind of remapping it a little bit. I made a couple of changes from the list that I trophied with last week. And then after making those adjustments, we will see how things work out. The shell is very similar to what we were doing last time. We're playing 4 Hidetsugu Consumes All. This card obviously is what the deck is named after, and I think that it's worth the 4 slots. And if you're not playing 4 copies in the main deck, you should be playing like 3 and 1 or something like that. Like I've been extremely impressed by this card, and the more that I play with it, the more that I like it. So I think the card is absolutely fantastic, and I want to be playing. I want to be maxing out on this. We're also playing some interaction with counter magic in Archmage's Charm and Counterspell, of course, like so probably the single 2 best counter spells in the entire format. We have some removal in Terminate, 2 copies, Lightning Bolt, 2 copies, Fatal Push, 4 copies. We also have removal / threat in Fury, which is going to be only 2 copies of this because I wanted to make room for 1 Callings Command. In last week when I was playing the deck list, I was actually kind of impressed by Callings Command. A bunch of random things that happen in a couple of scenarios that ended up being game winning, like buying back a Ragavan and like destroying an artifact or something like that. And there's a lot of artifact decks in the format right now. Like Hammer is just as good as it's ever been. Amulet is just as good as it's ever been, if not a little bit better even, because the main threat that the deck faced, which was Grixis Shadow, has now been nerfed significantly. So because of that, I think Calling Command is just a pretty solid addition. Obviously, it doesn't really work as well with Hidetsugu, but like 3 of the modes are entirely unaffected by the card. So there's only 1 of the modes that's affected by the Hidetsugu, so it's not even that bad even when it's bad. So I really like the card Colonel's Command. In fact, I'm playing a second copy in my sideboard when I get paired against Hammer or something like that. So impressed by the card. We also have some actual card advantage in Expressive Iteration. This card is obviously absolutely fantastic. We also have threats in Monkey and Jace the Mayan Sculptor. And because we're maxing out on charms, I made a couple of adjustments to the mana base. You're going to see that I cut the Blood Crypt, the black-red dual land. I also cut down on 1 fetch land, and what I did is, I also cut down on Castle Bandos, by the way, and what I did is, I'm maxing out on Deltas and Tarns, and I added 1 Spiral of Canal, and I added an extra Steam Vent. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to lean a little bit harder on red, as opposed to black. So you're going to see that when we go to the sideboard, you're going to see that there's no Bloodwind and there's no Torak. Particularly Torak was very awkward in multiple scenarios, and I found myself in the spot where multiple times I wanted to bring in both Blood Moon and Torak in certain matchups, and they didn't really work well at all together. So because of that, I'm trying to take a significantly different approach. You'll notice that I'm only playing a single Scalding Tarn. I don't want to go too deep on Tarn because this is a deck that wants to be hitting its land drops, and like land drops past turn 5 are very important, but we can't really play something like a Sulfur Falls or anything like that because, again, like we want to play Monkey on turn 1. So I'm kind of playing Spiral Bluff Canal as a little bit of a concession towards wanting to play some more monkeys, but in reality, I don't want to go too deep in Fastlands. I don't think that Fastlands are as good in this deck when we already have access to all of the Storm Giants, right? The sideboard includes Force of Negation, Dispute, and Fluster Storm. These are our counter magic. We bring this in against combo. We bring this in the control mirror matches and stuff like that. Dress Down is really good against anything that's Hammer and anything that's Primeval Titan related. So Dress Down, absolutely fantastic there. Brutality against aggressive strategies. I am expecting a significant uptick in stuff like Burn or things like that. So I can't really imagine that we're going to be too good against Burn. This kind of deck historically has had a hard matchup against Burn, so I wanted to hedge a little bit with Brutality, but maybe we should be playing 2 or even 3 copies of the card. This card obviously fantastic in the Burn matchup specifically. Thoughtseize against Combo and Control as well. Ashiok against the Amulets of the World and against Graveyard decks. Nihil Spellbomb against specifically Graveyard decks. And as I said earlier, the single copy of Call Against Command against your hammers and stuff like that. So we're going to be taking the deck for a spin. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying this deck in particular, let me know down below in the comments. And you can also hook me up with that like and subscribe button as well. And also, if you're interested in either coaching or if you want me to play any deck list of your choice on a video here or live on stream, whenever I go back to streaming regularly, you can find all of that information in the description of the video below. Without further ado, let's go to round number 1. Starting things off with round 1 against the Absent King himself, Will Experience. We're going to keep this hand Double Monkey, even if Will has some removal. Oh, Chancellor of the Forge? Well, that's not what I thought it was. Well, now my monkeys look very silly. Alright, so let's go Steam Vents, and we are going to play this monkey. Hopefully we're going to hit some land drops too. That would be awesome. Hitting land drops is great. So he's playing the Cascade deck, the Glimpse. It's kind of like a BS deck, but sure. So because of that, I'm not even too upset about trading the monkey for this Goblin token. Because, like, any stuff... Oh, okay. Well, I mean, sure. So let's draw Counterspell now. Now let's draw Counterspell. Alright. I'm gonna play this out, and if he spins... What am I gonna do if he spins? Probably gonna have to let it go and kill whatever they spin into, as opposed to killing one of the tokens. I assume he's just gonna slam, because like that's what that deck does, right? He just slams. Well, what I can do now is I can just kill the Pyromancer and Sugu. So let's go Watery Grave, terminate the Pyromancer. And it's pretty nice that Sugu also gets rid of the Pyromancer in the graveyard, so this works out super nicely. Sugu, 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 Sugu. It's a Sugu world, we're just living in it. It's a Sugu world, we're just living in it. So I think I'm just gonna... Let's just draw a Lightning Bolt. That's probably the best. Just draw a Lightning Bolt. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on to Archmage. I'm gonna hold up Archmage's Charm this turn. I'm probably gonna have to counter Liquid Metal Coating. Will should minus for... He should probably just minus for the thing, the Childless Agent. He should probably minus for a Childless Agent here. Also, I guess he pitched this Chancellor to the Fury, so... Because like he's exposing the Karn to Bolt, right? So I think it's just the correct play to minus for Childless Agent and make sure that you have business after the Karn. If we draw land, which would probably be our best draw, I'm gonna play the monkey, not dash it, and just pass the turn. That puts some pressure on the Karn. Childless Agent, yeah, Will makes the correct play here. That's pretty nice, actually. That's pretty nice. So this means I get to kill the Karn? Which I'm very interested in doing, by the way. I can dash monkey, go face, but I can't find the land, so I can't really counter anything. So I think I'm just gonna have to Fury, Peach Monkey, kill Karn, and we're just gonna pass the turn. If Will doesn't do anything, we can just charm, draw 2 on end step. But he's just gonna Shardless Agent. Like, this deck just jams. There's not too much play to it, really. It just jam every single time, every single turn. So we counter that. We get a 3/3 for our troubles, which is very nice. We drew another monkey. Expressive Iteration into lands and removal. So I think we... we go here. Pass the turn. It's nice that he can't really attack. So we're in a spot where we just need my opponent to whiff. There's not really too much that we can do about it. Yeah, he has another one. So I'm just gonna let it resolve, and I'm just gonna try to kill whatever they flip. Okay, that's kind of a whiff. Maybe not as much of a whiff as I would like it to be. This tramples though, which is nice. It allows me to pressure Karn. I guess he could have coding. Doesn't get to destroy my land, but it just locks my land for a turn. He can't put tokens in this turn. So when this deals damage to anything, you put a counter on it. So that's pretty nice. Elixir of Immortality. Oh, so I guess like he's out of glimpses. Maybe he drew one of the glimpses, so he just has to shuffle them back. That's pretty funny. Gotta do what you gotta do. So now he can Cascade into Elixir. Can we please have that happen? Like, it's only fair, right? It's only fair. I'm gonna terminate the Shardless Agent. Maybe should have gone a basic there. So he can trade both tokens for... That seems okay to me. We've been kind of whiffing pretty hard here, to be honest. Sugu did so much work. Sugu did so much work there. Just gonna Jace the Maya Sculptor. I think we're just going to draw some cards. And this is what I was saying about Spiral of Canal there, right? Like, it's so awkward. Well, that's a whiff. Pass the turn. We can't really do anything here. So now we just have to hope that he cascades into what's his name now. The good thing is that if he's planning... Also, he shuffled away his Season Pyros. So if he goes for coding here, we can just... Tormod's Crypt. Why? Why is he getting Tormod's Crypt? Why is he getting Tormod script there? Does he just not have liquid metal coating? Maybe he... I mean, I would assume that you see the Hidetsugu main deck and you're like, okay, so he's not playing anything with Graveyard, but maybe he assumes that I have Snapcaster Mages and stuff. I mean, that's good for me. That's like a wasted Karn activation. That's literally just a wasted Karn activation. It just doesn't do anything at all. Now I think I'm just gonna brainstorm here. Wow. All right, guess he realizes it wasn't the best play. Okay, so Fluster, great. Thoughtseize, great. Force of Negation, great. That's about it. K-Command, not super excited about. This is why I like this card so much. Is like you would assume like my opponent's playing a deck with no cards with less than CMC 3, but somehow like this card is great. Like it just kills everything that they're trying to do. It's just really funny. Like it's just so randomly good, even when it shouldn't be. it's very cool. Okay, so now we're on the draw. I don't think I want pushes. Bolt lines up well against Karn minus. And I guess they're playing Karn, so maybe I'm a little bit interested in calling as command. I don't think we're interested in dispute. I guess that he could have his own disputes. It's close. So let's do a little bit of a split here. I do think I want monkeys. I do think that I want monkeys. Maybe I don't. No, I do think I want them. Maybe I don't. Yeah, let's try cutting monkeys, bringing in disputes. Tsugu and calling as command. Let's see what happens if I do this. Dress down is a little bit weird, but I think it's worth it. Hand's solid, I guess. So turn 1, Watery Grave, turn 2, Spiral of Canal. And if he goes like a little bit too wide, we have Tsugu. If he doesn't, we are holding up counter magic. Would love to have Fluster instead of this. Also, he submitted 61. That's funny. I would like to have Fluster instead of Dispute, but kind of is what it is. That token dies to Tsugu. Token has haste, man. So broken. Free 1/1 haste. It's just Raging Goblin has been power crept out of the format. It's a free Raging Goblin. Like that's messed up. That's so messed up. I actually think that if my opponent plays the little fish, I'm gonna counter it with Dispute. Yep. Because I'm gonna be shields down this turn, and because of that, can find another red source here. That's fine. So I'm gonna be shields down this turn, and it makes it less likely that he hits stuff. I mean, again, I still think that he's gonna slam because you know that's what the deck does, but. So we're gonna get it tapped Steam Vents here. Well, yeah, just gonna Sugu. Well, now that I know that they have Teferi, I'm not gonna just waste my... I'm not gonna just waste the dispute, right? I'm obviously going to be a lot more careful now, but so let's go blue, red. Odawara is very nice, so terminate the pyro. So Odawara allows me to just bounce the fairy straight up, which is pretty neat. I'm assuming that he's gonna spin now. This seems like the turn to spin. Also, I just realized that this makes my Odawara cost. Oh no, this is not. For a second, I thought this was a legendary. Like, why isn't this legendary? So Hidetsugu is legendary, but I guess its vessel is not. Good to know. Good to know about that. Okay. So, I'm just gonna Fury here. I'm gonna do that. I think he has the thing. Like, he's gonna outburst me now. He doesn't. Okay. Pass the turn then. I mean, we have 2 threats. This is no joke. Well, good thing I killed the other 2 tokens. Otherwise, if he had found a way to spin, we would be in a lot of trouble right now. So this costs 4. So I can bounce this, but like it's not particularly great. He bounces the Sugu. Does he have the spin? 5 mana, 6 mana. He has the spin. Okay. So here we just cross fingers that he whiffs, and he crosses fingers that he doesn't whiff. Let's see what cyber cards he has. Okay, so he has have Dispute. Esika's Chariot. That's spice. Alright. Nothing else, really. I mean, he kind of downgraded. My god, like, this deck is just... I don't know, man. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Like, it's just a weird... It's such a weird deck. Such a wild deck. Kind of stupid. So now what I get to do is I get to like Fury, pitch Sugu, kill Tef on a Charlotte's agent, and we get to start interacting. I think I probably have to kill the Omnath actually. This is kind of close. We're at 9. So we don't have that much life to work with. So I'm kind of afraid of this Omnath, actually. Okay, so that's his turn. We're done. What's a land? So I'm gonna just kill the Omnath. I'm actually more scared of the Omnath than the Teferi, I think. And we pass the turn. Maybe we should have played this. I was thinking about saving this because of Jace Brainstorm, but maybe that's not right. Also, I guess killing the Omnath puts one less Omnath in the deck. 4 mana. Is this Karn? Karn finds another Shardless, which is a big deal. Oh, Outburst. Okay. Hope you whiff again, Will. Because not much else I can do. Yes! Let's go. It's really funny how he's been downgrading every time. Every time he spun, he had a better board state before spinning. Maybe he does have another play here though, because like Omnath gives in mana, so let's see if he has something else to go along this, but it's pretty funny that it just happened every time. He's cycling lands. All right. But now we have counter magic up. Now we have counter spells. So what do I want to do? I could Jace minus hold up counterspell? Seems like a pretty decent line, right? So we play Jace, we minus an Omnath, and then like actually he doesn't even have the mana to recast the Omnath, so we're holding up either a counterspell or Archmage's Charm, but like he actually can't do anything about it. So all right, Jace resolved. -1 on that bad boy, and we just chill. Next turn, we're going to do some Suguin. I mean, he can cast Omnath, but resolves. Resolves. Are we good? Can I cast my card? Can I please cast my card here? Let's brainstorm. Just lock. Yep. I was gonna say let's just lock this game up. That counts. So we're gonna have triple counterspell up. So 1, 2, 3 to Sugu. That's double counterspell. That's fine. Let's play Orawara. Black, red, 1, Sugu. Blow him up. You can activate Will. If you really, really want to. Yeah, exactly. You can activate. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Tight play, tight play. Here we go. And I want to hold up double counterspell because my opponent showed me Dispute. So we're just so outrageously far ahead right now that I just have to not be an idiot. That's the goal right now. The goal is to not be an idiot and not throw away an otherwise unlosable game. That's the goal right now. So we know there's a Jace on top of my deck, so let's clear it up with iteration. So Sugu to hand, bottom, exile, play that. This is just game. So I don't think there's anything that Will can do at all anymore. I said, no, Will, get out of here. Yeah, he says GG's. Yep. Sugu too strong. Yeah, we could have even started attacking with Sugu and like it just tramples, so there's nothing he can do. This card is great, man. See you next round. Round number 2. Yep, sign me up for this hand. Or if our opponent's playing interaction, we go turn 1 Water Grave. If opponent's not playing interaction, we go turn 1 Monkey. Amulet. So that means turn 1 Monkey. Steam Vents, yes. Play Monkey, say go. So if our opponent doesn't have turn 2 Dryad, so I'm probably gonna like throw this Monkey in front of the Dryad, I guess. I mean, it's kind of nice that my opponent can't stop the push regardless. So like we swing, opponent can block or they can not block, whatever. It just enables my push. Guru basics. Okay. I respect that. I respect that. Definitely would like to see a counterspell of sorts. Would love to see a counterspell of sorts. Opponent kind of punished by not... Wait, what? They're just like, yeah, I don't want this land. Okay, you got me. Get a Demons tapped, thank you. But why? All right, iteration. So it's kind of awkward, but I guess we have to do it because if opponent plays a push or an Azusa, I would like to kill her. Man, where are my counterspells? No counterspells, huh? So let's go. Let's go hand, bottom, exile, play land, and we're gonna play this Monkey and say go. If opponent has Titan, we lose. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. I guess I could have terminated the Titan, but okay, that's good for me. That's definitely very good for me. Definitely very good for me. Second Amulet. Okay, let's untap. Iteration. So hand, bottom, exile. Play this, say yes. And we're gonna pass here. Opponent gets a token here. Maybe I should have attacked actually. Yeah, because I'm gonna end up pushing this token anyway, so I missed on 2 points and on a token. I'm missing 2 points on the treasure. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna push this thing regardless, so. Yeah, that was a bad play. That was just a bad play. Archmage's Charm. Okay. Okay. So we can steal. No, we actually can't. Never mind. So we just have to sit here. Because if I steal the token, then I don't have counterspell up. I can steal the expedition map though. What happens if I steal the expedition map? Opponent can't find Cavern of Souls. And now we're gonna chump one of these tokens, I guess. Maybe opponent will make it. No, they made mana. That means Titan. Oh no, they make a token. Okay. Can I find a Sugu, please? I would like a Sugu, please. Can I please have a Sugu? It's a lot of tokens and a lot of mana. Yep. I have been gotten. Maybe my opponent will haste and we get to blow them out. That'd be nice. Then we draw Sugu. Hell yeah. Double Growth Chamber. So they just have a Colossus in hand. They just want to go full ham. Yep. That's fun. Resolving Colossus is fun. Games 2 and 3, things get a lot better for us though. Like game 1 is like we just didn't function this game. I still think that my play was right. I still think that stealing the expedition map was correct because otherwise my opponent just goes and they just find Cavern, they crack it for Cavern, and we're in a lot of trouble because they just have uncounterable Titans. So if I see another Primeval Titan, I'm probably going to concede here. If I see another Primeval Titan, I'm going to concede, but they have 3 cards that I don't know about. And then just a bunch of Growth Chambers. Okay, there we go. All right, Amulet. Bring this in. Dress down. Like Thoughtseizes. Bolts suck. Usually I think Monkey is pretty solid against Amulet. But I think that because of the way that I'm building the sideboard configuration, I'm going to go full control. I kind of need the Monkey though. Kind of do need the Monkey. Calling as command is just worse than Sugu. Jace is how I'm winning this game. Okay, command is probably still okay. Cut the Sugu, just cut the pushes. Just cut the forces. Okay. Interesting hand. Probably not good enough. Let's ship it. This one has Ashiok, but hitting land drops is gonna be way too important. This is far and away the best hand we've seen. Second monkey down, and I think we bottom the charm. It's actually bottom the other land. It's bad if opponent leads on. If opponent leads on turn 1 Grazer. Celebi though. Dismember? Wow. I was gonna hold up counter magic, but now that they played that, I think I'm gonna go for Ashiok. It's pretty nice that this Ashiok is going to survive the saga. Take 3 there. Just gonna draw 2. Okay. It's pretty nice. So let's ECU. Why didn't they play the extra land? That's a little bit confusing. I mean, I'll take it, but still a little bit confusing. So now my opponent's gonna make a token. Then I'm gonna make another token, which is pretty bad for me. So I guess what I should have done is not leave them with the Dryad, because by leaving them with the other Dryad, I'm incentivizing them to spend their mana activating here. Can we please draw Sugu? That's all I want. All I want is for us to draw Sugu. Opponent goes face? Yeah, you can't go face there. You have to go out. Unfortunately, I have to do that because I need to... Terminate kills the Dryad. So... I did get a fair amount of value from Ashiok, but I think that it's over now. I did get some pretty good value out of it. Opponent does make another token here. That gets destroyed. Both of Ashiok. So we can draw Jace the Mind Sculptor, so I guess I have to do this right now. And if we draw Sugu, we're actually super crazy far ahead, I think. Sugu. So now I'm just dead to the constructs. That's pretty unlucky. That's pretty unlucky, actually. Man, that sucks. That sucks. I feel like, you know, mull to 5, and then my opponent cyber dismember against us somehow, and oh wow, I just realized we also have dress now. Like, we just had so many answers to these stupid tokens. We just found none. That's brutal. All right, see you next round. All right, round number 3, playing against Menino Ney, known Living End player. I think we're gonna keep this hand. So now we can go turn 1, Steam Vents. And I think it's interesting, like if we miss our land drop, it's kind of interesting to iteration here. Kind of to see what options we have. Yeah, so now we have Charm. So I'm just gonna pass the turn. Obviously, you know, it sucks to give up a land there, but the idea is that, you know, I don't think that we're gonna have a chance to mess with that too much anyway, so okay, so now next turn we're gonna be able to iteration into counter spell. Menino is very, very good, so I assume that we're just gonna get got a way or another. I'm expecting something like, you know, play that out. Custom monkey. We could dash monkey here too, that's another option. But I think we're just gonna get Living Ended here plus forced. Or like Living End and tap Living End, that kind of deal. At least that's what I'm expecting will happen. Nothing? Well, I'm not gonna complain about nothing. Okay. Interesting. So that has to have been his draw, right? Because like they would have done it last turn otherwise. Now we have double counter magic, so I feel a little bit safer. Not too much safer, but a little bit. Okay. Swing first. Probably has another sky turtle. It's getting awkward here. It is getting awkward. Okay, that's another sky turtle. Play that. Play monkey. Say go. I mean, it's obviously if they do hit the Living End, we're just super dead, right? But who knows? I mean, we see some shocking and stuff. Charles Agent. Titanoth Rex. Love to see it. I'm gonna use Archmage's Charm, so I keep the more I guess we're gonna use both, but the idea was to keep the more mana efficient answer. I imagine that they drew like a bunch of Living Ends. Yeah, that's exactly, because like that's definitely not a concession spot, but like the fact that, you know, they drew both Living Ends obviously make things very awkward. Ashiok. So all of this is just great. All of these cards I'm super stoked about. We even can do the trick of Not interested in brutality, not interested in any of these cards. I do like monkey, just a way to get onto the battlefield and then just push through. Don't like K command. Push damage, I mean, like push an advantage. I think Sugu is gonna be a little bit slow. Fury, we can like discard, just like play it for no value, and then it comes back if our opponent leaving ends. I'm probably not gonna start by doing that, but I think I'm just gonna do something like this, I think. I don't think I'm into the brutality, just the one off dress down, just to cantrip. Okay. Pretty scared playing against Living End. I'm gonna keep this hand. Gonna Thoughtseize, never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna Thoughtseize on one, but you know, that means that we don't Thoughtseize on one. Let's get a Water Grave here. Play Otawara. So now we're in a lot of trouble, actually, because Menino can like set up a situation where they end step outburst and then untap and they get me, right? Foundation Breaker. So that's just a 4-mana 2/2. So I'm gonna take this chance to draw 2 here. Try to find more stuff to do here. Is this a good turn to iteration? I don't think so. I think next turn is a better iteration turn. If he's gonna start hard casting stuff, that makes my terminates a little bit better. Like I don't need to kill this just yet. All right. So I guess I'm gonna cycle now, and then I'm gonna terminate one of these. And I want to cycle there because if I draw a Fury, I actively want my Fury to die. Iteration, that's quite nice actually. So we have a monkey. I think we're gonna Thoughtseize. Riverwinder or Waker Waves. I think I'd rather, because they have mana, so I'd rather that they look for less cards. Now next turn we can dash monkey if we want. But this actually doesn't look too bad. Hardcast Street Wraith. So let's counterspell here. Now I can untap on monkey, or I can untap on Jace. Only has one card. Only one card left. We can Jace Brainstorm. It's too risky. Just gonna cast this monkey and just say go. And then we can terminate on end step and then start beating down with monkey. And once I can make sure that I'm not getting got, then I can start to do some stuff. There's no way that he attacks. Oh, well, never mind. I stand corrected. All right. I mean, I'm gonna take it every single time. And now anything that he may play here, I'm just gonna terminate. And now my monkey gets to connect. Let's see what we find. Grief. I can hardcast that, get rid of the Riverwinder, but he's gonna cycle, and if he finds a land. So I think I'd rather Jace instead. Yeah, I think I'd rather Jace Brainstorm. That's very nice. So monkey on top. Fury on top. Play land. Play Spellbomb. Say go. Yeah, cycle rewind this, so we have no information, but we're holding up Counterspell here. And like even if he does have it, yeah, we have the Spellbomb, like we just got him. Nice. That was pretty cool. That was a very interesting match. Got there against, I think, second place from the trophy leader from last season. Feels good. All right, round number 4. Let's keep this hand. We start on monkey. Then we can clear the way for it. Seems like a good starting point. We can even have the dreaded turn 3 Jace. Let's see if we can slam the turn 3 Jace. Put the fear in our opponent's faces. Fear. Hopefully they're not playing like a, like a Memnite deck, like Hammer or whatever. Because that would suck. But for now, nothing like a good turn 1 monkey. Here's my monkey. Classic 1-drop taking over the game. My opponent says suerte. I guess that they're let's swing first. Let's see if we can get some info here. Okay, we did connect, which is nice. Street Wraith, Living End. Okay. Could technically be Shadow. I really want it to be Shadow. Probably not. But okay. I mean, at least we do have the charm. And like turn 1 monkey is kind of nice against Living End. It does put some pressure on them. So maybe this will be fine. It is a reasonable start against Living End anyways. The only thing is that like I'm a little bit more like this tournament is not looking good, Definitely like to find access to some backup counter magic. Like if we find a counter spell, and we are able to, we find the counter spell that we're able to like connect with monkey again, and we have 2 layers of protection, I'm gonna be feeling pretty good about that. But it does hit the land drop. Dress down. That's actually kind of interesting. My opponent has like interaction such as grief. Yep. No, I don't have too much to do. We had 11. Don't have too much to do with that one. Oh, classic living end. Classic living end. I'm probably gonna cycle this on my opponent's second main phase. Because I want this to, you know, come off, so I can send the monkey one more time, and we still get a trigger. They can't. They don't have outburst mana. Speaking of, we can hardcast that. Doubles the clock. That seems very worth it to me. Yeah, that seems worth it to me. 2, 3, 4. And if my opponent leaving ends, it's not like sweet, all right. Honestly, like winning game 1 twice against leaving end is kind of crazy. I wouldn't expect that to happen too often, but I'm not going to complain. So that card's not good. And Tristdown is kind of sketch. Guess I'm bringing in Ashiok. Ashiok just seems better than Sugu. Terminate seems bad, but like okay. You just got all the Sugus. Bring in Dress Down instead. There's an argument for playing Brutality instead of Dress Down. Maybe that's just better. Good old Hardcast Grief. Monkey claims another victim. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this hand. This hand looks very good. I think I'm gonna go with the turn 1 Spellbomb. It forces my opponent to have exactly the green dude, the Foundation Breaker. Maybe they do, but it just uses my mana efficiently in a turn. Like, I'm not countering anything because I can't counter a Grief, and like my opponent can't they can't combo me next turn, so like they're not cascading, so it just uses my mana efficiently. And sure, like we only get punished if my opponent has Foundation Breaker exactly on turn 2. And even if they do, like it's not the end of the world. We just trade 1 for 1 and move on with our lives, right? It's not that big of a deal. Water Grave, yes. Spellbomb. There's an argument for like holding this, but so it doesn't get forced. But if my opponent forces this, like I'm kind of happy with that. So yeah, all right, cool. Again, opponent can have Foundation Breaker here, but everything else is kind of looking good. Maybe Grixis is just the truth, you know? Okay. No need to cycle. Just taking it easy. Just taking a stroll in the park. Just taking a stroll in the Grixis park. Outburst. I think that's fine. I'm gonna wait until my opponent puts the living end on the stack. Then we're gonna do that. Trade 2 for 1. Get rid of that. Tap land. Cycle for Waker of Waves. We already have double red, so I'm just gonna go with Water Grave here in case we draw Thoughtseize and we want a double spell. That's very nice. Super, super nice. So I guess my opponent has a Waker of Waves, so like there's not real value in me being in this Fury. Like I'd rather hold it. So I'm just gonna rest them. Hopefully we don't get veiled. Kappa. Alright, so gonna take a dispute. They only have one living end left. The opponent can jam here, but like that's it. They're out of living ends, so they're just hard casting their cards now. Do I want to force the dispute out of my opponent's hand? Leyline of Sanctity, that's funny. So all of these are gone. Their hand is just these 3 cards that I know of. This is kind of interesting. Am I supposed to force them to use the dispute? I think so, right? Because otherwise... Oh, that's right, I can't. Never mind. So we're just gonna fluster. For a second I thought that we could dispute this, but like we obviously cannot, so... So that's gone. Opponent has a 2/2. And now we're not really worried about, like, they're out of living ends, that's it. The living ends are gone. So if we draw a land, we just play a Fury and we get, yep. This is what's up. Let's go, baby. Races on. Not a bad draw. I think if my opponent disputes, they're gonna force. Alright. It's perfectly fine. Super happy with that exchange. 6, yeah. 6, yeah. I think I'm just gonna charm on end step. Ugh. Not great draws for my opponent. Alright, beating living end back to back. Second person in the trophy leader, and fellow Argentinian, because they said LPM, which is La Puta Madre in chat, so I'm assuming that my opponent is Argentinian. GG's, and clearly Grixis is the living end destroyer. Last round. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. We're on the play. We don't have anything to do for the first couple of turns, but we're playing against Blue Moon. Is that really what's about to happen here? Waterlogged Grove. Color me surprised. Rhinos? It is Rhinos. Okay. It is indeed Rhinos. Man, like Sugu is just so good. Like, it's just good against everything. It's just crazy. Blue, red, iteration. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. I just want to hit my land drops, man. I'm a simple man. Force of negation, right? Do I iterate here? Opponent gets Rhinos on end step. I think we just pass. Here come the Rhinos. Or just a random raise and borrow. Okay. Opponent did 2 for 1 themselves. So that goes to hand. Oh, I messed this up. I wanted to do the other way around. Whoops. That sucks. Okay. I just need raid again. Punished. Okay. Push to hand, Sugu bottom, exile land. Yeah, I got punished. Like, I should have this lightning bolt in my hand. I just got confused. It's not a big deal, though. Maybe it is a big deal? No, it's not. Cool. So now I get 2 for the price of 1? What a deal. What a deal. I still think my opponent's playing Rhinos. They just have like a super weird draw. We have second Sugu, so I'm just gonna go for this. Boop boop. Your clock gone. Out of here. Out of my face. It's kind of interesting, like, do I even care if my opponent resolves Rhinos? Kitria Triumph. Fury enabled our push there, which is really funny. Yeah, it is indeed Rhinos. We just have a super weird draw. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna draw 2 here. And look for a land and then untap on Sugu. That's nice. Sugu. Am I taking 2 from this Charles agent? I don't think so. There's Mario Command. Okay, shock me. It's kind of aggressive. Force of Negation Hardcast. Okay, down to 3 we go. So I'm gonna have to terminate this, which is kind of funny. Kind of sucks if my opponent has a Fury, but at the same time it's just kind of fine. Monkey's a great draw. Dash it. Should have. Yeah, that was a mistake. So we have counterspell for Rhinos. Opponent's probably gonna cycle. They don't cycle. Interesting. Another Shardless. Fury. That's worth countering, I think. Good draw. It's now a 4/4. Counter spell. Now it's a 5/5. Now Fury's not castable anymore. I'm gonna save this for Jace. If opponent top decks Rhinos, it could be a problem. They did. So we lose if we win any removal spell. If we find any removal spell, we're gonna win here, which is nice. Because they're gonna double block, and then any removal spell just does it. Monkey. That also just does it, funny enough. Shout out to Sugu. Shout out to Sugu. Trample, baby. This card just keeps getting more impressive every single time. It's just so good. It's just so good. Like it's just so impressive. Like it just does so much. And whenever you think that it's gonna let you down, it just keeps delivering. Beautiful. Beautiful card. So Kick Command probably not great. But I'm not particularly excited about any of these cards. Maybe Dispute. So maybe we can have like 2 Dispute and 2 Monkeys. Because I'm not too stoked about the Monkey, to be honest. Opponent's gonna have like a gazillion answers. This is fine. This looks okay to me. Can't keep this. We can keep this though. Bottom Jace. Bottom Force. I think I'm gonna bottom Jace. I think I'm gonna bottom Jace there, yeah. Opponent could be playing Blood Moons. That's something that we're gonna have to watch out for. It doesn't look like Blood Moon, mana. that delays the decision of what I want to fetch until I have more information. Everybody likes to upkeep ice. Everybody wants to upkeep ice. Dispute wars and fluster right here. Upkeep Rhinos. Upkeep ice again. Okay. Pass the turn. All of this is kind of okay for me. I don't know yet what I want to fetch for. Borrower. I could just dispute this. No, because I'm going to want to save dispute for next turn. This is fine. Borrower is okay. So these Rhinos come off. Next turn I'm going to Sugu. And at this point I'm assuming no blood moons, I think. So I'm just going to go get a duel here. I am going to draw 2 on end step. Alternatively I could steal. But I'm just going to draw 2, I think. And fetch for another red source here. It's the immense. Counterspell is a nice draw. Force of negation. Dispute. Do they have the force? Don't. So that resolves, and that's good for me. I don't really need to kill this borrower just yet. Second borrower could be a problem, but I'm gonna force here. Pitching counterspell. We do take 4 though. Let's get another black source. Pass the turn. Push. It's kind of nice. So we just push this borrower. And I'm gonna hold on to the Fury because if my opponent plays their Fury to kill my Sugu, then we can kill their Fury. Cycle Trial. Get a black source here. Okay. Do I want to draw 2 on end step? I don't have to play into Dispute. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. I like that draw. Forcing the issue. You got me. Are you sure that was the play you wanted to make, opponent? Are you sure that was the play you wanted to make? I don't think that's the play you wanted to make. I'm gonna hardcast my own Fury now, because I'm not afraid of anything that my opponent could have here. And I guess that we only get punished if my opponent draws exactly Fury this turn, and if they top deck the Fury. Like, we don't even care if they draw the Fury, but like, this is a 2-turn clock, like, it's just, I need to start killing them, right? Okay, that probably means, unless their hand is land, hardcast Fury, we're probably just good to go. Stomp plus Stomp. Stomp plus Devil. Okay, we play on. We got a nice little 2-for-1 there. Whew, is that draw good? Is that draw good? I'm not quite sure. Never not brainstorm. So if I'm gonna have to counter something, oh, man, all of my cards are just so good. So I definitely want a Sugu. I can just bounce this with Jace, right? So let's go top, top, an iteration here. Sugu to hand, bottom, exile, play my land, say go. I think I'm pretty far ahead here. Don't play Bone Crusher. Interesting. Not playing Bone Crusher there is really weird. So we want to put that on top, that on top. Iteration. That's an answer to the Bone Crusher, actually. I still want to hit my land drop though, so let's go hand, bottom, exile. Now the quest, I think I do dash monkey here. And dashed monkey plays around my own Hidetsugu, which is very nice. Petty theft. Opponent tapped terribly. Sure, you got me. So I just cast the monkey now. Now let's just not get got by Fury. Again, I'm pretty far ahead here. Let's just not get got by Fury. Why would on earth my opponent tap like that? Like, they could have put me under so much pressure there. And instead they didn't. The problem, the reason why I counter that is I don't have the push right now, and that actually blocks my monkey. Dispute is nice. Dashed monkey enables my own fatal push, which is nice too. So put that on top, put that on put that on top. Then we're gonna iteration. I guess hand bottom exile dash monkey serve we get a free Cascade. Oh, not yet. So stop on end step. That's really funny, but actually dash monkey, push that. That's so funny, actually. So now the Rhinos come over. We got Sugu ready to go for that. So we don't care whatsoever. It's kind of ridiculous how far ahead I felt this game every single step of the way. Force of negation. That's fine. Black, red, one. How about another one? Is this good enough? Do I win? Am I the winner? Oh, opponent says that they're a big fan of Mishra's Bubble. Thank you so much. Sugu continues to consume them all. Okay, here we are wrapping things up on this league. I just keep getting impressed. I just keep getting more and more impressed by how fantastic this card is. Like it's so good. It's so randomly good in the most random matchups. Like I hadn't even considered Rhinos as a deck, and then I get paired against it, and I read the card in my hand, and it's just like, oh, that's right, I just win. Like it's so funny. And the funniest thing is that the only matchup that we lost, like we won every matchup 2-0, and the only one that we lost, if we had ever found Hidetsugu, it would have fixed all of our issues because it was against Amulet. It would we lost to our opponent just going wide with Ursa Saga tokens, and we had 7 like virtual sweepers in our deck, and we just couldn't find any of them. Like if at any point we find one of those, like the game just ends. Like we just go from dead to extremely far ahead. So really impressed by this card, and the more that I think about it, the more that I think that it just plays really well with Monkey. Like this is starting to feel like it's just great. Like it just works great together. Like the interaction with Dash and Sugu means that you get to put pressure with your Monkey, and it just doesn't, like Hidetsugu doesn't really get in the way. Sure, if you want to cast it on turn 1, yes, you're gonna end up killing it, like obviously, but it's in your opponent's best interest to kill it anyway, so it's not that likely that you're going to kill your own, because if you're killing your own Monkey, then your Hidetsugu is probably winning the game. And if you're not, like if your opponent's not killing your Monkey, then you're also probably winning the game, and you may not even need to Hidetsugu. So at that point, they just kind of work well in a very weird and strange way. They just work with each other in a convenient way. The only thing that I will say is I'm not feeling super hot on the mana base. I'm gonna have to continue to think about it, and maybe it's just a matter of I don't want to go super hard on black mana. I don't think black is kind of like the splash color here. Like sure, like Fatal Push is a fantastic removal spell, but I'm trying to be more focused on red because of Monkey and Fury. Also, maybe it's true that I should just cut this call against command and just play the 3rd copy of Fury. This card is just so fantastic, and the K command, I do think it's good, and we didn't really get paired against the decks that this card is really against, right? So we are kind of, it's kind of, it feels like I want it. Like I just feel like I want it if I think about the metagame and I'm like the popularity of Affinity and Ursa decks, the popularity of Karn decks, Amulet, Hammer, like all of these decks make me feel like I want to have access to Colonel's Command, but at the same time, Fury is such a fantastic card and I kind of want to have 3 copies of it. So it may be that I should just cut something else instead. Maybe I should cut the fourth Hidetsugu, probably not. But I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. Maybe the calling as commands should just go in the sideboard, just like play 2K commands in the sideboard and then call it a day. But all I have to say is I'm very impressed with this shell. It just continues to overperform. I'm currently I went 4-1 with the Yorion version. I went 5-0 in my previous video with a very similar list to this, and then 4-1 today, and with some pretty resounding victories. Like it's and that's what I want to say. Like, you know, the numbers and like the results are just kind of random. Like I could have gotten some good pairings or whatever, but the deck just feels good. Like when I'm playing the deck, I feel like it's just always running on all cylinders, with the exception of, you know, when I move to 5, you know. But besides that, the deck just feels solid. It just feels like it's doing something powerful, and it feels like it's consistently doing that something powerful, and it doesn't really stumble too often. So I'm gonna definitely continue working on this deck. Like I'm very excited about it, and I'm very impressed by this card. I'm honestly very surprised that it doesn't see any more play. I've been singing praises for this card since I tried it in the Yorion build, and people are just not catching on. Like it spiked in price, and like it just doubled or like tripled in price from one day to the next, and then it's starting to come back down, and I'm just like, do people just don't get it? Like this card is insane. This card is so good. It just lines up so well against Modern. Like it lined up well against the Lurrus metagame, and it just continues to line up well against the metagame right now. So even though like maybe it's like a little bit worse, it's still very good. So I'm very excited about this. I will continue working on this deck, as I was saying, so you can expect to see more Grixis Sugu content in this channel. And if you want to check that out, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notifications when that goes out, when that goes live. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that if you want information about coaching, or in order for me to play any deck of your choosing, you can check the description of this video, and feel free to leave me a comment with your thoughts, ideas, and stuff like that. Always like to hear, and I try to stay up to date with my YouTube comments as well. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.